learned how to do about 3 months ago. There's a lot of cynicism about playing now, okay? This is fun, trust me, this is really fun. Those of you that play, I'm gonna leave this up here so you can try this. My technique has changed a lot, I'm just gonna warn you, it's weird. But when I was playing at, it was the Cancer Walk around Lake Eola for Strides Against Breast Cancer. And they had about 10 different performers. I think Full Sail was one of the sponsors also. It was in November. And they gave me a really sweet spot to play. I was out on Orange Avenue between Church and Pine Street. Literally like, on the curb, I could walk into the street. And thousands of people, I think 15, 16,000 people is what I heard went by that day. And so they're coming in waves like this big in the room. And everybody's watching me play, and I'm broadcasting sound probably a block away on either side. And when they get to where I'm at, I can tell that they're looking at me and they'll smile, but they're going, I can tell they're thinking, he's just playing along the tracks. And so I'm playing, I smile, and then I stop. And they're looking at me. That's all I had to do. And actually I got some double takes, which was the point, okay? So when I talk to you about going back and reliving, in a sense, the tension and really the, I don't know, the emotional connection that you get for playing live music. I'm going to try stuff today, and I'll make a mess, I'm sure. I'm going to practice on you guys a little bit, and hopefully I'm not going to indulge. I won't indulge myself too much, but you probably want to hear me say, just go off at some point, and I'll try, okay? But I've got layers of sound going, and I wanted to show you, it's in the echoes that I'm doing this also. You can't hear the Rhodes is actually a channel strip further over. Let me close this down. My software is getting squeezed here, but let me see if I can get you some more. You guys see the Rhodes firing late? Yeah. So let's do this. I'm going to take some layers out. I'm going to take out the wave, take out the Santor for now. Here's just the Rhodes. I'm trying to move through chords in a sense. So as a bass player, what I'm not doing right now is stepping on a pedal and creating loops. I've kind of stayed away from that. In this area down here, I'm starting to build it, just so you know. That's tape. Maybe you guys have seen the playback function where you actually start seeing the waveform show up when you're doing the loops. So the buttons aren't engaged. You see all the question marks down in here or exclamation points. It's like, what? Where are the assignments? Where are the assignments? I haven't done it. But I've laid it in there. I was changing it around a little bit the other day. So you guys kind of seeing how input and output works? Now check this out. Let's see if this works. There we go. Can you guys see the fader?
Yep.
Off my hand. Let's go to the master bus and make sure. I'm going to put the auto filter on. I had it off. Let's see if it works. Listen to the hi-hat. Now, you're not hearing a lot of manipulation. I'll show you why. Let's make this smaller. 50. Because I can choose how much of the dry signal is actually coming through. Watch if I pull this all the way down. Can you guys see the cutoff being manipulated?
Yeah.
I'll put my hand in the space again. Now notice I'm only going down to what, 58% is where it's bottoming out right now. You guys see it up there? So I'm still trying this stuff and figuring out, can I even play and move into the space and not? I would almost rather have somebody up here who wants to interact, right? Can you screw me up while I'm playing? Bet not. I'm just going to keep playing no matter what you do over there. You guys kind of follow that? I'm actually trying to set up almost like an interactive space. With the pedals also. I've only got the Rhodes and drums going right now. Sometimes that layer is all you need in the background with the bass line, okay? Let me change tempo and time signature. Follow what I'm doing. I'm just counting different. The delays haven't changed. I can still go back to here. It's a lot. You have to be patient, kind of wait for it to speak. Okay? Maybe turn on a couple layers. See if I can get them to interact with each other. Here's Santur is like a string instrument. Maybe some of you are using it in your productions. Here, the high one. See how I'm doing this? I'm not playing real hard either. You notice that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's easy. It's easy. So a lot of it's about the programming. So my flow is I play, I record. Sometimes I'll record for 45 minutes and I'll try stuff. And then I'll go back and listen and I'll cut loops. And I'll go, what was I doing right there? Because that was really cool. And so, yeah, I have to go back and like reverse engineer it again. How was I playing that? What was I doing?
Are you mainly just focusing on the bass notes and the count? And then you just program everything else?
I know what the tempos are, and I'm going to show you about how I'm calculating tempo. But you notice everything's locked, but I'm playing live.
Right.
So, as long as I stay in time, right? So everybody looks up and says, oh, I wasn't expecting that. You know, that's kind of what I can do now. I can go there. Go to triplets, go to eighth notes, etc. But, and again, I can hit record anytime I want to. All right? So, it's one of the sounds, and then I put a lead sound over the top. Let's see if I can. The wave sound here. This is like Miami wave. I've got all kinds. I'm ghosting a lot. Now, my technique, I'm taking my whole forearm and putting it over the strings. So notice what happens. I'm still sitting MIDI. But if I turn MIDI off, that's all I'm getting. See what I'm doing? Okay. I just so much when somebody walks into the studio, it's going to happen, and every guitar is going to have a computer in it and an LED right here. Okay? So this is just the early phase, and this kind of looks like a data cable. It is. Okay? At some point it'll be USB, FireWire, right? So main stage seemed like a good place to go. I dragged around rack gear for a while. I was using hardware and having to get into each piece and program, and trust me, this is so much better. It's like when I went from tape to Pro Tools. Okay? So here's a different kind of sound. 50s, maybe a 60 pop. You guys see how much? You guys follow what I'm doing? I'm trying to figure out how much room I've got if I really want to be musical about it. I'm trying to stretch the dynamics all the time also. Okay? Here's another sound. There's no dynamics here. Let's try another key. More aggressive sound, right? And then I got into this whole idea of doing, got the whole idea of actually going and cutting other tunes and dropping some of the samples inside of here. Remixing.
Yes.
Oh man.
Still working on that. I can tell you right now, if I want to mix this, I'll tell you one of the first things I'm going to do. I'm going to pull the bass down one click, and I'm going to turn up the sample.
Yo, toss laptop. I'm done. Just throw everything away.
14
I
minus
quit.
12.
Yo, Nathan, you got that fire hot sauce? Nathan.
More. Samples. -8. I'm turning up the samples. I'm inside the samplers. What would you expect to find if I click right here on edit?
Other samples.
All the cuts.
All the samples.
Right? Let me play it from here. You guys ever viewed it with the velocities? Now, you notice that some of them over here, see the check boxes? I've got some of them as one shots. I'm pitching some of them and not others. I've got others set to reverse. Okay? So I've got this set as not as a one shot. So if I just pull a little bit, I just get the beginning of the sample. It's also not being pitched. You can't see the data right now, but I'm playing G, F sharp, F. 3 different pitches, and I'm getting the same sample every time. That's because I unchecked that box, correct? Okay. So the ones that I'm doing is one shots,
Oh, hey.
right? All I have to do is touch it, and it plays the whole sample. And if I hold it, I can even go in. It's not showing right now, but you know you can reveal in the view. You can reveal the looping, right, and have it loop if you want to. All right. So I'm just laying it out. I'm trying to figure out, like, I had to figure out what key and what tempo the original was, right? And I ended up going to some other tunes also. Let me play a couple more real quick. Started cutting tunes. This has really been an interesting way to play. Let's see if I can do this.
Oh man. Dude.
Who's on here?
What?
You guys see how I'm doing this?
Dude, no. I quit. Yo.
I
quit.
blow it all up. But it's fun. And some of it is like
Which team do you
poking a
music
finger
more?
in an eye. It's
Just
okay.
quit music, dude.
That's
quit.
just, look, I'm 53 years old. I try to stay relevant, and
Yeah, you
I
are,
glue
man.
things together and have fun with it. And trust me, it's almost more interesting when I put the software up on the screen when I'm playing. People want to see what I'm doing because they understand after I stop, they'll watch the channel strips and stuff. Imagine going into a club and actually seeing that on the screen while we're playing. That'd be a cool thing. You go,
Yeah.
oh, what are they doing there? You know? So there's other ways to kind of go through this. Another tune, real quick. I had another one here. Let's see if this was on. Yeah. Who's that? Tina Turner with Bryan Adams. You can hear me firing the sample. That's from the record. All right. Here's another one. Anybody listen to Aphex Twin?
Yeah.
He just released an album after, what, 12 years? He released last year, late last year. Let's see if I can remember the progression. A minor to C sharp minor, which is a real interesting, to C to... Continue. Where's the F? A minor. F. There we go. That's C. Now, if I miss, and you can hear it, yeah. So it definitely comes down to pilot error, but I'm trying to figure out a way to trigger, play, trigger, play, trigger. You guys follow what I'm doing? I'm trying to get the in-betweens also, because I'm doing a little bit of that. So I'm working on these kind of sounds. That's, for me, like great jazz progression, because it's got a couple of outside changes. Yeah, I did Wonderwall. I'm not going to play that for you. Oh, okay. I don't even know how I laid it out. I can't remember how I laid this one out. Yeah, I started with some of these, and after a while, I was like, maybe I'll do another tune. I went pretty strong in that area for about 3 or 4 tunes just to figure out what it was like to actually lay out the samples. And I think Skrillex ends up coming out the best right now, so I'm working on that the most. But I wanted you to see under the surface a little bit about what it's like to just program and play and practice. And be real, I have to be real firm about this. In fact, I ask other people all the time, because really, here's what's happening. I'm getting caught in my own, so I'm getting like ensconced in my own sound. I can't get out of it. And so it really helps for me now to have other ears in the studio. So I invite people all the time, please come listen, and give me this, and give me this, and give me this, so that I can at least get an idea of, and I filter everything that I get based on what I like to play and what I feel like is moving forward and what's not. But if I were to ask you guys to help me produce, the easiest thing for you to do right now is actually to change out my sound set. You're not probably going to change my technique too much. I can try things, you understand what I'm saying? I'll always try new things. But it would be easier for you to go say, let me cut up some stuff for you and we'll lay it out and you can play this and play that. Or I want to change the snare on this sound. Right? Let's hear the filter engaged. If you don't like the snare, go in there and change the snare. That's kind of what I'm saying. I'm still going to play the same way. I'm still hitting the snare. So in terms of the way the drums are laid out, a lot of people ask about how I'm doing this. The short answer on a 4-string is hi-hat, snare, and kick. G, open string. D, this D, this D. I'm on the same channel every time. You guys still see channel 1 up there? Mm-hmm. This bass has the ability to put a separate channel on each string. Okay? But it gets crazy. Because this note, G, I'm on the 1st string. Same note, I'm on the 2nd string. Here's the same note, I'm on the 3rd string. Here's the same note, I'm on the 4th string. Now the tone in the guitar changes, right? Because the strings are getting thicker and I'm going higher up the fretboard. But I could be sending on a different MIDI channel right now also, which means that same note, G4, could actually be triggering 4 different samples depending on where I play. that to me was a little bit too much for what I was trying to do. I don't know if that makes sense, but I was like, I'm not going to go there just yet. But I can see advantages to be able to do that, especially if I'm cutting tunes and I want to actually be able to play like 2 different versions of something. If there's 2 different choruses and they're similar, but decidedly different, right, musically, maybe I can lay one out on one string and lay one out on the other string and be playing the same notes, but on different strings because I'd be sending on different MIDI channels, right? So there's that tree that you could suddenly start engaging also in terms of going, but you're going to see me running on channel 1 all morning, okay? That's basically how I'm doing this. Kick on the bottom with the hi-hat and with a little bit of dynamics. Let me put another key in here. This one I didn't like as much. Let's go and edit this. So here's a good example. I'm going to open up the editor here. Here's the snare. With the hat, Now, in terms of pitch, if I want to lower the snare, I'm going to take the pitch of the root key and I'm going to push it up if I want it to go down. Correct? Let's go some more. Less jingle. Where's the jingle? Just the hat. Let's pull that. So I'm mixing kind of inside of here, and then I'll save what I've got as an EXS instrument, and these guys saw those channel strips in my folder. That's basically what I'm doing. And I'll even go into, because you notice all my faders are Unity gain, I'm going into the individual samplers and actually changing all the mix. Okay? So let's print something on the desktop. Let's see what I can get out of here. So, WAV file on the desktop.
Where do you see Mixlab? Huh? Where do you see Mixlab?
It's the episode. Yeah, I mean, I won't tell you, but because I don't think you sent a message out for Mixlab. You see, just go to your lab and it'll have it.
Whatever normal time.
It's lab 6, I believe.
Okay, so whatever time normal lab is. Okay, I got lab 1. Alright, thanks.
Yeah, bro.
You guys see how fast I did that? Just looping 4 bars. This is what I mean about producing now. It's really strange, but I'm firing video at the same time, and it's all locked in sync, and I'm printing like QuickTime movies on the desktop and turning it in for money. It's like crazy. But it works. For the type of clients that I'm looking for and the type of projects, imagine, here's a scenario. You may not think that this could be a viable alternative to work, but I'm doing station IDs, commercial bumps, stuff that lasts 5 or 10 or 15 seconds with locked video and printing WAV files and printing the movies actually on the desktop at the same time, and everything's in sync. So if you're a station and you give me all of your assets, I can actually trigger them through the performance engine for video and be playing music at the same time. If you don't like it, you understand, like in an afternoon I can go in the studio and give you a whole season's worth of stuff. Think about how long it takes for somebody to compose and then edit in Avid or whatever it is and actually marry the two together, traditional production style. So I'm kind of bumping up against that. It's kind of where I'm really interested in doing things. And I mentioned fountains. I'm really interested in triggering fountains. I'm gonna start trying to do this out at Lake Eola and trigger the fountain as I'm playing. That'll be fun.
Yeah, when you let your samples, do you ever get confused when you play live?
I have to remember on the fretboard, the question was, do I get confused? Yes, is the answer. Do I look confused? Yes, is the answer. Well, I should do this. Does that help a little bit? No, I'm confused. When the bass first came out, they had to decide how to get into the computer.
Yeah.
And the best place to do this, I want you guys to check this out because I want to talk a little bit about real quickly how this is wired. These frets are wired, which means that if you look real carefully at the cuts on here, there's actually cuts in the frets themselves, little diagonal cuts that are separating it into 4 pieces. So if I touch a string to a fret segment, it's like triggering from a keyboard.
Oh, okay.
Okay? But if I pull on a note, I get MIDI.
Oh,
If I
okay.
pull on this switch, I get a patch change. I'm in a new sound.
Oh, that makes sense.
All right? If I switch, I'm in a new sound. If I switch, I'm in a new sound.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I have to look down here.
Yeah.
So not only am I sending all the notes,
Mhm.
I have to think about what software functions are underneath each fret also.
Yeah, right. It's pretty
Yeah,
a challenge.
So that's why it's like sometimes I've been doing it for a while and I've kind of got it laid out.
Improvise and stuff.
What makes sense, for me. And other types of sounds then, are available. But you guys see how quick that can be for little stuff. I mean, maybe that was an insurance commercial, right? Regional ad gets you about $1,500. Done, right? But you know what? I can tell you, and I may have mentioned this before, even in the context of theory, is that when you talk to people about music, sometimes it's hard for them, if they're not musicians, to describe what kind of music they want for a project. And I've resorted to colors. I'll say, do you want it light blue, or do you want burnt orange? And I'll bring 2 pieces of music, and I will swear to you they sound exactly like that colors, because I've almost suggested it to them. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It works. In those because somebody told me once, I want something like a cross between John Williams, the orchestral composer, right, and Eric Clapton. That's what they said. I want it between John Williams and Eric Clapton. Yeah, I just kind of went, oh boy, that could be, so it's like blues orchestra. Well, I'm not sure. I wasn't sure. I asked him what color. So do you want bright red? You want muted yellow? I'm trying to think in terms of composing music that way in a sense. So that was kind of interesting. I'm going to get on the thing here. There's ways to do this where I can really get the filter to dig down into the sound, but I showed you can, I don't think I saved the state where the original signal was probably up around 50 or over 50%. I have to pull that way down so you can hear the filter. And sometimes just that manipulation between the dry signal and the affected signal on the filter helps a lot. I'm breaking the rules, by the way, by putting this on the master bus. You guys understand that's not usually a place to do this, but I'm using what they call a patch bus, I guess, which is like one click, just like the subgroup right before the master bus. So that's some of the sounds from there. Let me find one more. Yeah, the birds.
That's pretty cool.
You guys get signature. 7. Meter, 7. Yeah. So I can get 3s. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So this has become very organic for me in terms of being able to switch around and kind of move through different cycles. All right. Other stuff that we should talk about is the delays, and I want to just do a real quick math for you. On that same page, will you guys look down, grab your pencil, because I want to fill in one little hole in a chart for you.